Let me show you a few problems from today's assignment using the zero product rule. To use the zero product rule, we'll need to factor these. The rule says is if you have two things that multiply together to be zero, then one of those things must equal zero. So we're going to factor. We'll split our x here and here, and we're looking for two numbers to give us a 10, at the same time give us a -7. I'm thinking -5 and -2. And then what we do is we take each of our factors and we set those equal to 0 and solve two very tiny problems. We're going to get x is equal to 5, and we're going to get x is equal to 2. This is a second degree trinomial. You should always get two answers. Split this up into two sets of parentheses. The x squared here. Looking for two numbers that give me a -12, but give me a -4 when I add. -6, +2. Set both of these equal to 0, which is a step that you will most likely do in your head eventually. Add the 6, subtract the 2, and those are our two answers. Here we have a little bit tougher trinomials because of the coefficients here, the 2 here and the 5 here. One way of doing this would be the classic AC method, where we factor that way. 2 times the -15 is -30. I want to split -30 up in a way where I get +7, so I can split this middle. +10, -3 would do that. 2x squared, take away 3x, plus 10x, minus 15. Two sets of parentheses. By grouping, first two things have an x in common. Last two things have a 5 in common. What they have in common, I put in this first parentheses. If an x is factored from the first two or a 5 from the last two, the result will be a 2x, take away a 3. And then we set those factors equal to 0. X plus 5 equal to 0 gives us a -5 as soon as we subtract the 5. 2x minus 3 is 0. We're going to add the 3 over and then divide the 2 underneath. And that's one way. Another way of doing it is use your graphing calculator. Go to your y equals, type in the equation, 5x squared plus 34x minus 7, and look at the graph. Go ahead and split this up into two parentheses. 5x squared is going to be a 5x and an x. I'm not sure what that is, but I bet it's a fraction with a 5 underneath it. But this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, -7 right there. So one of my answers is going to be x is equal to -7. And the factor that would create that would be x plus 7. Got to remember that this number here and this number here multiply to be this number here on the end. So a +7 would require a -1. -1, +7 make -7 there on the end. 5x minus 1 is equal to 0. I'm going to add the 1 over, divide the 5 underneath. I bet this is +1/5. Hey, read that for me. Clean your rooms.